Pee-wee, why you teasing?
I'm watching you. See you over there.
Hey, man. Grooving. Come
You
on,
know what I'm
man.
saying? Hey, welcome, ladies and gents, to another beautiful episode of No Boundaries, Just My Opinion. Um, I be your man, Big Pee Wee. That's Deacon Zaid. That's Juan
Peace.
Fusco right there.
What up? What up?
How y'all brothers doing?
So far, so good, man.
Good, man. Bless.
Police ain't put their knee on me, so I'm good.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm
So I
good.
know last Sunday was Father's Day, and all of us are fathers. Did you guys enjoy your Father's Day?
I did. Just
Yeah, I did.
really got some rest, man. You know, that was the best thing for me.
Excuse me. Yeah, for me, I just chill. Yeah, man, chill with the fam, and then went and chill with my brother and my dad. Yeah.
Oh, nice,
So,
man. Nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but how about you, P?
I just hung out with the girls, and
No doubt.
that was it, man. We had breakfast, we had dinner, just hung out. That was nothing else but that, man. Just good
Love it.
quality
You
time.
made dinner at home?
No, we went to Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
Picked it up and brought it back home.
Okay.
Oh, I
okay.
like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I'm still not comfortable yet sitting down at a restaurant.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear
for
you.
real.
Yeah, man. So, talking about that, COVID-19 here in California is on a rise again. Arizona, Miami. I mean, like, how do you guys feel about what's actually, they're talking about?
Well, my question would be, why is it on the rise? Is it on the rise because everything opened, or because people aren't wearing masks and stuff anymore? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
according to your president, we tested too many people. So the more tests you have, the more people gonna have the COVID. I'm just saying.
You know what? Before we go any further, shout out to the Zoomers. Shout out to the Zoomers playing the prank on him, buying the tickets, and excellent job. Excellent job.
That's crazy.
Wasn't that
Salute.
something?
Hey,
Man.
the man said, hold on, man. Did you see the skit that this lady, I got to find her name. She a comedian. She be doing these skits. But the man said that over 1 million people wanted to come to this thing, dog.
Yeah. The stadium held 19,000, dude. It was 6,200
and then he said,
people.
we were gonna get the convention center next to it that held 40.
Listen,
for the overflow.
I said,
did you see what Nancy Pelosi did?
Wait, I think I did.
She posted on Twitter. She was like, 6,200 people. You could have did that on a Zoom call.
Hello.
Oh,
Clowning. Hey, he isn't. He not.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
Shots fired. Shot fired.
Yeah.
Hey, he's not too bright, bro. I'm just gonna say that.
Um,
And how about all them black people that was there for real? Like for real there. And you got to listen to this dude and you still stay. Like they have to be getting paid a lot of money, bro.
Bro, and that's what I was thinking. I said they must have gave him a little cheese. And unfortunately for most blacks, and I won't say all, but for a lot of blacks, bro, you give them some money, they'll do it.
That's crazy.
It's a sad situation.
It is very sad
situation.
But at the same time, you do have tons of black people that literally, for some reason, feel like he is the savior. They honestly feel it.
Pee-wee, so I'm part of a group called King, right? And we had a Zoom meeting the other day. And one of the people...
Hold on one second, Z, before you start that. What is King?
Oh, King is knowledge, inspiration, and nurture through God.
Now, who's in this group?
Oh, it's just brothers. It's a lot of brothers.
Like church? Is this a church thing?
I mean, it's like a parachurch type thing. So it's not necessarily we don't meet at a church, but it is a men's fellowship.
Okay.
But it is Christian based. You know what I mean? Biblically based. But it's chapters everywhere. So it's a chapter in LA. It's chapters all over. And every year we have an annual summit. So we get together and just, come together and build. But
Are you having one this year?
I don't know, because we had to cancel the one. It's usually in April. So we had to cancel the one this year, so it won't be until next year.
Because you didn't tell me about the one you went to Tennessee, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So we had a couple and one mad at me. Don't even
Yeah.
trip. But I'll invite y'all next time.
Went to the
It's good
Lorraine
stuff.
motel, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
man. Yeah, man.
You know.
Atlanta. I've been to Ohio, Atlanta, and Memphis for this. So every year. But anyways, one of the guys said in the opening, while we were talking, he was just like, he said that he believes that God, and I'm trying to get the right words because I changed it and he agreed with me. He said that God is using Trump right now to change things as they are. And I said, well, can we say that God allowed Trump to get elected for things to change? Meaning, how some people, these evangelicals, and some people really believe that he's like the chosen one, like it's just over. And I would differ in saying that I do believe that God allowed this to happen to see the changes that people are making. One in particular is a lot of black people weren't, well, I don't want to say all black people, but a lot of people weren't involved or interested in politics until he got into office. A lot of people weren't interested in voting and doing all kind of things to make changes until he got into office. Even the things that are going on right now with these protests and things like that, trying to get laws changed and all this stuff, like a lot of it, I mean, of course, it dealt with a lot of our history or whatever, but I think that I do believe that it maybe was allowed by God for us to wake up pretty much, to like wake up and understand that things aren't right and we should be doing better.
Well, I'll say this. I really wasn't in depth into politics. Kim always has been, and she's over the top, right? But and I'll be perfectly honest. I used to be like, do you have my list of what I need to vote for?
Like who I vote where? Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I just wasn't, and it wasn't because of Trump that I changed, but I just started listening to some things, right? And I started watching some programs, maybe some CNN programs and all like that. And I was like, wow, really? And I was one of those people that was like, my vote really don't count. It don't matter. I've always voted, but in the grand scheme of things, I've always been like, my vote don't count. But now, in the last, I would say 8 years, I've stood in line, however long it took. Even with primaries or those off year votes, I'll stand in line to cast my vote for local stuff, for all of that. So I won't say that I was naive, but I really wasn't. I just wasn't dialed into it. You know what I mean? It was like, oh yeah, it is what it is.
And it's interesting that you say that though, Juan, because I saw an interview, or I listened to an interview just the other day with Matt Barnes. You guys all know who Matt Barnes is.
Yeah.
Basketball player. And and I thought it was very interesting how he kind of broke it down. And the same thing that you said though, Juan, is that politics was not for us in the first place. It was built for other people. And so our culture never had the opportunity to understand. If you look through history, we never had the opportunity to truly understand. There was a certain few that it piqued their interest and they kind of got into it, but as a mass, it was never our thing. We wasn't able to vote at one point.
Right.
And so then it was hard for us to comprehend what are we voting for?
Right.
If we our very first time voting, like what are we voting for?
Right.
And you had people, especially back then, was just telling them what to vote for. No vote for
because I'm sorry to interrupt you, but let me ask you this, Pee Wee. That first time that we were able to vote, was it anybody black on the ballot? So
no,
voting for?
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
So who you voting for? And whoever you voting for, were they for us?
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
Did you know what you were voting? Yeah.
But they had people standing in line telling the black people, hey, just put your vote down for this. Put your vote down for this. They had no idea. They was just voting, and they were just happy that this is the very first time that they were able to vote.
Right.
But at the same exact time that because we never took major interest in politics, that we really truly got into it with when President Obama
Indeed. Right.
when
Right.
Black people really was like eyes open, we're out here voting. After Obama, I'm gonna have to agree with Z. Obama's second term, it kind of started to fizzle out. People really was kind of like, oh, we waiting to see what Obama gonna do.
Right.
But Obama kept saying like, hey, don't wait on me. You got to do it on the local level. And that was the same thing Matt Barnes was saying, that he's starting a program up that is going to give people bite size how to understand politics. Is because, again, you're talking about over 400 and something years of politics Black people was never involved in. And now all of a sudden they're involved. So he's like, you got to give it to people in bite sizes so they can comprehend and build off of it. Now, the great thing about what's going on now, and I might have to agree with you though, Z, to a certain extent.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I don't believe like he's, not like that. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that he's no chosen at all.
Right.
But
who are you talking about?
Trump.
Yeah,
okay.
No, please don't get that misconstrued.
Please.
No. What I'm saying is, just like we go through tough times in our lives, like we can't say, oh, God is good, but then when we're going through bad times, oh, that wasn't God. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that this is one of them things. So I'm not by any means saying that Trump is none of that. No, don't do me like
now, Zaid, look here now, because we are on no boundaries.
No.
We off air, you were saying you was all Trump.
If you don't knock it off,
now you flip it up.
Hey, listen. I just talked about how I wasn't gonna use the nigga word. You almost just got called nigga. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, Z.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask? Okay, and I think this is on topic. Let me ask this question, because I hear people say all the time, well, what did Obama do for the Black people?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
And then I hear people say, because I kind of listen. I don't kind of chime in all the time, right? And then I hear people say, well, he wasn't just the president for Black people. He was the president of the country.
Indeed.
Right? And I think that he did do some things to help the entire country, bro. And I think that's, for me, we need more equality for Blacks. But in the grand scheme of things, we need to come together as one, Black and white, because we have to coexist. We have to coexist. They're not going away. They're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere.
Right.
Only way to make this work is we have to coexist. There's going to be a group, and there's going to be a group of people that, and I think I talked about this before, they're never going to change their views or their ways. It's going to be that faction.
Right.
How are we as a people and that other faction who is understanding where we're coming from going to say, okay, how can we make this work?
But I think that's what you're getting right now, though, Juan, to a certain degree, where for years it was just the Black people fight. It was just, you had some white people that kind of, fought with us, civil rights. You had some white people in there.
Well, let me ask you a question, Pee-wee, on that.
Okay, but hold on.
No.
Hold that thought. I was just gonna say, but right now, this generation their eyes are open now to seeing no colors.
When you say this generation, what generation are you talking about?
This was Generation X. Is this Generation X right now?
You talk about like our 20-year-olds, our younger people.
Because if you look,
is that X or is that Zoomers? Who are the Zoomers? Are they 18 and under, the Zoomers?
See, I'm not for sure which one is which.
Yeah, that
I
part
have
I
no
don't know.
idea either.
Yeah.
But
But I would think
within,
that
Okay,
you were talking about the
so what's
20-year-olds,
our
the younger
generation?
group.
Were we the baby boomers?
nah, we're Generation X.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, we're Generation X.
so where does Generation X stop?
We haven't stopped. We're still in the mix
No,
of everything.
we have to
No,
stop
you don't.
somewhere. If there's a Generation
No, he's
Zoomers,
talking
if
about like
there's,
what is the younger crew, like these 20-year-olds, what are they? They not Gen X.
are they the Zoomers?
Well, I don't know. I would have to look that up.
Yeah.
You see
Like,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because my question to you earlier was going to be this. You said people have, joined us or whatever. Have they really joined us?
Okay, so this is the thing, Noah. No, they don't understand the true fight of a black person. No, they do not. And that's one piece that a lot of them will not understand. But they understand right from wrong.
Okay.
And so in that, we need allies. We need folks that's going to have a bigger voice than us, that's going to stand up and make the change. Is
No
because
doubt.
again, it was just us for years.
Right.
Majority us standing up for ourselves. And yes, we moved the needle a little bit, no doubt about it. But see, now we're at a pivotal point in history where we can't just move the needle. We have to take the needle full throttle,
Right.
because I think right here, right now, is where a lot of change is going to happen. And it goes back to even like the politics, that we are holding politicians accountable now for their position in law, in legislation. We're holding them accountable. You're seeing that they're changing certain bills and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're
Right.
only doing it just a little bit because I truly feel that they're trying to wait this out. They're trying to kind of we'll give them a little bit and see if we can wait this out. I think
Right.
it's upon us that we cannot let that happen, so that they wait us out.
Let me
That's number one. And then number two, for years, and again, I know I've said this on the show before, if you understand the beginning of being police officers, they were slave patrols, bringing back slaves. So when you start something evil and negative, it's going to continue to be like that. And they, over the years, have continued to grow power and power and power and power. And then when you look at the numbers, the percentage of how many police officers actually get convicted off of a crime for killing somebody, it's like 0.01% actually get convicted of a crime. You know what I'm saying? And so they've, over the years, have petitions to get legislation, laws in place that protects them. We need to do the same exact thing. We need to flip it where, and then, I think it's the far right who, they can't understand when they say defund. What do you mean defund? And they play the dumb role like they don't know what defunding the police means, even though they understand, but they're speaking to the base to try to keep the base like they're trying to get rid of the police officers and this, that, and the other.
sure.
That's all they want to do. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. We need to start protecting ourselves. And that's what the laws that we need to start fighting. Yes, defund the police. Start putting resources and stuff like that back into the community and stuff like that. Yes, we need to do that type of stuff. So I think having these allies that's in place that will help us move the needle more, I think that's where we are.
Yeah, a couple things. I think that, I would agree with you, Pee Wee, on a few things for sure. Well, on most of it. But I think that when Juan says, are they truly with us? I think from the videos that you see of these young people having these conversations, young white people having these conversations with their parents, and how their parents' minds are shaped already. Like you said, Juan, like you're not changing them, but the kids are looking at it like this is not right. And those are the people that I think that will align with us and that are becoming allies, because they're like, this is not right. They're seeing a different world and seeing Black people differently than what their parents saw.
Right.
And I think that a lot of it is maybe they had a bad experience with a black person, and it
You talking
shaped
about the
their mind.
parents?
Yeah, or white
Okay.
people, period, who have
Okay.
problems. Maybe they've had that, or their parents have it, and they take that upon themselves and say, "Well, all black people are bad because this is what you've been taught." And I love
Well,
there was
not even a bad experience, but that's all they know, so that's
right,
all that
right,
they can teach.
and they don't even want to have the experience. But
Right.
like the girl, I think she's had enough experience. Perfect example, and I don't want to put his name out there, but a friend of mine, white guy, said that his dad used to use the N word. You know what I mean? And and I was like, well, I don't blame your father. And he was like, well, what are you talking about, Z? I said, where he learned it from?
Right.
And he was like, well, my grand. And I was like, exactly. I said, but what made you different? He said, well, I went to school with blacks and Mexicans. I was like, exactly. So even though your dad, you heard that being said or reasons why, you had friends that were black. You had friends that were Mexican and had your back, that were cool with you. You know what I mean? So it changed your mindset on that kind of thing. Secondly, I think a lot of people have a problem with President Obama because, like you said, he just wasn't our president. He was everybody's president. But I think that they felt like he could have did more as far as changing some like rules and policies and legislation for black people. And the reason why I say that is because Trump got in there and changed some stuff right away that was helping rich people, right away that was helping the elite. So I think when you see those things, it's like, well, why didn't President Obama do anything for black people per se? But on the flip side of that, I
I can
think
answer
that
that though, Z.
okay, but I was good. But let me finish.
Yeah.
Um, what were you gonna say? You talk about why he didn't change anything?
Why he wanted to change. Why he
Right,
wasn't able to change.
right. And that's what I'm about to say. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say. We think it's so easy, but you have to have people have your back. They have to be, you know what I
So,
mean? Like
so
you can't say something.
Was the Republican Party the majority in the Senate when Obama was the president?
Mm,
So if you look at and who we all know right now, and again, going back to, you know, I never heard the dude's name until Trump got into office and me paying attention more and more. So I agree totally with you on that though, Z. Like I paid a little attention with Obama,
right.
but I paid way more attention to politics now that Trump is
Oh,
in
for
office.
sure, for
So
sure.
Mitch O'Connell,
Mm-hmm.
McConnell, Mitch, it don't matter. Yeah. His name ain't that important.
Super Tuesday in Kentucky, though.
Hello,
Yes,
tomorrow.
yes.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
it in, people. Hey,
D-
hold on. Let me do like Trump. Let me shout out all of our million followers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you in Kentucky, get out there and vote, my dude. Okay, Pee Wee.
I was just gonna say, Mitch stopped a lot of stuff that Obama was trying to get passed.
Mm,
Even on the end of, I think Obama was trying to get a Supreme Judge on, and Mitch stopped that.
Yeah.
mm,
And he even admitted to it, excuse me, in an interview that he had with Sean Hannity, sticking his
mm.
chest all out, sticking his
Yeah,
chest out,
yeah.
and was proud that he had stopped a lot of Obama's bills being passed.
Right, right. So I'm yeah. So again, I think a lot of people had those problems, but if you really think of it or look into it, like he really didn't have no, you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have a backing and you don't have people that's really down for you and fighting for you, and you don't have the majority, you're not getting that. You're not
Right.
getting that stuff passed. And everybody now, all these people throw out the he did HBCUs and talk about
Trump.
President, Trump. Oh, he HBCUs, man. These HBCUs closing left and right. You don't
Yeah.
knock it off.
But that's the game. It's the smoke and mirror game that they've been doing for years to us. Trump ain't really. I mean, I think the only true thing that Trump is doing, and it wasn't even him. It was Kim Kardashian getting people out of jail. That's the
Right,
only, truly the
right,
only thing. And again, that
right,
wasn't even him. That was Kim Kardashian bringing
right,
that to him and him doing it.
right.
Um, I want to kind of switch subjects real quick, and
Yes, sir.
but we're all on the same end though, because we're talking about changing people's minds, right?
Mm-hmm.
NASCAR.
Mm.
So Confederate flags, they banned the Confederate flags at
Right.
NASCAR.
People having a fit. People quitting. Dude said I quit, but they said he ain't had no races anyway. Nobody knew who he was. But at the same, let me tell you, I'm sorry, P.
No, go ahead.
Listen, man. The fact that you would literally quit a job because they take a flag away, that tells you something. Just like these police officers that are quitting.
I was just fixing to
You
say
are
that.
literally saying, if I can't go and do my job and get away with killing somebody, like, I'm out of here. Or better yet, if I can't go kill no black dudes and get away with it, y'all not gonna have my back. Oh, then I'm gonna just go get another job.
And you know what the sad part? It's
Yeah.
black cops that's in that too.
That's crazy, bro.
That's been
And this was my question. Like, when you put on that uniform, I saw a meme. You know, I love my memes, and it said, "You only a cop for a couple hours a week." You know what I'm saying? Like, the other times you black, bro,
right.
or you white. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's
because I don't know where it was, but the chief of a district was harassed and pulled over by his police officers.
No
They didn't
way.
know it was him.
I saw a black dude get pulled over, and he said he was a
Wow.
cop, and he said he was nervous. He said that when they asked him if he had a gun or anything, even though he did, he said, I was not telling them people I had a gun. This is a cop.
Yeah.
This is a cop. Two other cops. Like, I'm not telling them I got this gun. Because if I reach for I'm not doing it.
Well, you know, they're having Rashard Brooks, his funeral at Martin Luther King's church tomorrow, and they've asked that the Atlanta police not be a part
Don't
of
even
the
come, my
protection.
dude. We good.
Yeah.
We good. But anyway, NASCAR, I don't know when it come on, but I'm watching.
So they
up.
found a noose in, his name is Bubba
Wallace.
Bubba Wallace's garage.
Yeah.
So NASCAR is now doing an investigation, trying to find out who this person is.
Yeah.
And they say it's pretty much very easy to find out who this person is.
Oh yeah, gotta be.
But
for sure,
we were talking about changing people's minds, and these folks that's in Talladega, that with the Confederate flags, literally are upset. They are upset the fact that NASCAR is doing this.
Now, hey, can I say something real quick though, Pee-wee? Pee-wee, you know what? When I think about this Confederate flag stuff, the more and more, and I see in our, you know, I watch videos and I, you know, read stuff on what really happened. In my mind, this is like the NBA championship. Let's say we got the Lakers and the Clippers, and the Lakers win. This is like the Clippers waving around their flag, talking about, well, at least we was there.
Yeah, because they lost, bro. They lost.
You lost, my dude. Like, why are you happy? You lost, my dude. Like, you should be. But this tells you that this shows you the level that they would go to fight for some things that represented some other things. They want to say it's their heritage. They want to say it's all that. But that flag, to us, don't represent nothing good, bro. And like I said before, you lost, my dude. You lost.
Absolutely. So my question to you guys is, when you have somebody who is so deep rooted into something like that of a flag, how can you at least hold the conversation? Because they're only going to see it their way and their way only.
And I don't think you can. And I don't think you can. I have a motto for life. Some people you just can't help. And you can't. If I believe, I'll give you a perfect example. I believe in Jesus Christ. It's not my job to make you believe. It's what I believe. Here's what I know. Here's what I'll tell you. You can either choose to believe or you don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're not going to change a Confederate believer and one who's so instilled in that. You're not going to change their mind. It goes back to what I was saying before. These older white cats and these older white people, that's all they know. So
Right.
you can't tell them anything else. Nothing you say is going to change their mindset because they're conditioned.
Right.
This is how it is. This is what I know. This is how I've led my life my entire time. And there's nothing you can say, nothing you can do that can change
That one lady,
it.
they had her on TV, and she was saying how I'm gonna teach my grandkids this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach, everybody, and it's just like you said, Juan. There's nothing. It's almost like it's almost like they say what they say. Be careful who you talk to, because people from a distance, be careful if you're talking to fools or something like that, because they said from people from a distance can't tell who is who. You know what I'm saying? Arguing with people. So when you get into these conversations, like, you can't even get into a conversation if they're not gonna be open and willing to really listen to what you got to say.
I'll put it in perspective to where you can really understand. Real Kobe Bryant fans don't see no problem with him passing that ball in Phoenix. It was okay. That's what he was supposed to do. There was no problem with him shooting air balls in Utah. There's no, you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean? Anybody else would have done the same exact thing. They're persecuted. Oh, let's Smush Parker shot up some air balls. They need to trade his ass. He needs to be gone. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing you can say that will change a person's mind, especially for a generation that grew up watching Kobe. Right. And let's say, we talk about it all the time. Brother never seen Magic Johnson play. Jordan play, right? Yeah. So I can't say to him, dog, before Kobe, Jordan such. He's not gonna get it because he never saw it. Right. You see what I'm saying?
I feel
it doesn't, and that's how these people are.
And let me.
My grandmother was this way. My grandfather was this way. This is what I know. This is how I grew up. This flag means this to me.
Right.
And that's it.
So
let me flip it on you, Pee Wee.
Hold on. Before you said it, though, Zay, okay. I just want to show y'all something. I haven't posted it yet, but I'm just waiting for the right time so that I can post it. But on what we were saying, can you guys read that?
Oh, we can't read it though. I think I saw that meme.
Let me see.
Was like what this flag means to Jews or something. Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
I see it.
Yeah. So it's what this flag means to Jews is the swastika. This is to Black Americans is the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
They know that. They know that, P. They know it. Let me flip this on the scene though. Just like these people are being taught about this Confederate flag and its legacy within some of these people's families, I think it's incumbent on us to make sure that we teaching our kids about our history.
Of course.
That we teaching our kids with the same level of undeniability, of power, of whatever you want to say, that these people are teaching their people. We need to be teaching our kids about themselves and knowing who they are and knowing where they come from with that same and keeping that same energy. So when they presented with this stuff, they know who they are and they know where they're from. And they don't have to deal with this stuff and not know who they are, because them people, obviously they know who they are per se. You know what I mean? Like they know where they come from and they have no doubts about it, and they willing to die or whatever for it. And I just hope we teaching our kids about ourselves and who they are just with the same amount of energy.
And I agree with you 100%. But let me be devil's advocate and pose this question to you.
Please do.
When our history is pulled out of the schools that we're mandated to go to and to learn, right? And then those same parents don't even know the history of our people. How can they teach our children to be powerful and understand our history when they don't know it themselves?
Perfect example. I always say, how can I put it? I mean, it's up to you, honestly. Sure. It's up to you to do your own research. Just like you go to church. You got to go study that thing on your own. Yeah. I don't care if you go to the mosque. You better read that Quran on your own. Right. You got to get in the books and do it yourself. I can't speak for nobody else.
Right.
But I know for me and mine.
Right.
Oh, you getting some study.
Right.
You getting check these questions. Who was Martin Luther King? Where did he live? When did he die? How did he die? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no, oh, he died. No, he got killed. You ask Presley right now, she gonna tell you. You know what I mean? Who was Obama? How many kids he got? What school he go to? Like, yeah, because like I said, this is our job.
Right.
This is what we gotta do. You know, because they're not getting taught in the schools, and they won't be taught in the schools. So therefore, we have to do our due diligence, because all they're gonna learn in anything is in February. They're gonna have some African, and they're gonna be talking about some people and posting people in the newspaper saying this dude made peanut butter. That ain't the only thing we done did, dog.
Right.
And that's facts, because, you know, I think that's the most important. I think that's extremely important, those things that we do. And I saw this, I don't know if you guys saw it. It was a video with Amanda Seals. Did you guys see it?
Oh, yeah.
When she was on the trampoline?
I think she had just got off the trampoline.
No, she got a couple, though, but I saw the one on trampoline for sure. She goes in.
And she said, it was on Juneteenth, and was like, it's not my job to explain to you Juneteenth. The same way I had to learn, I had to Google, and I had to read. It's your job to do the same exact thing.
Hello.
I'm not about to sit here and give you different websites and different books to read and stuff like that to make it easy for you. You didn't make it for me.
Ooh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I had to find out all this stuff. Real talk.
I think you sent a video too about all different kind of people talking about racism and what it means to blacks, and Morgan Freeman was on a lot of them, and he said something to me that like rang in my mind, bro. He was like, they was like, well, what do you think about having February as Black History Month? He said, I don't want Black History Month. He's like, let me ask you a question. He said, when is your History Month?
Right.
Tell me what month is the Holocaust. Tell me when is the White American History Month? Why you got to relegate my History Month to just February? I want it the whole year.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah. But Morgan Freeman be tripping too, though.
He said some other stuff, but he was talking about racism.
He's like, there isn't no systematic. Look, he said, he was talking to Don Lemon. Look at me and you. Look at me and you. I said, if you don't knock it off.
Yeah. I was watching Don Lemon. I was watching Don Lemon today, and I don't know if I really like this guy.
Don Lemon, no lie. I used to watch his YouTube videos all the time. Like, he be going in on people.
Now, sometimes he go a little far, and it's kind of like, I Don, I get you. Yeah. You're doing too much for TV right now. I get it.
Man. Yeah.
But I do like him.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Juan. I think it's up to us, man. And I know that, you know, even like our parents and their parents, they probably didn't want to talk about a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Because they were like in it. Yeah. But I think it's up to us. I think it's up to us to do a lot. I really believe that, like, I'm with that old adage that it starts at home, man. Yeah. I think a lot of this stuff starts at home. Forget whatever. I don't care what institution you talk about, whether it's religious, whether it's educational, school system, all that. It starts at home. And I think if you have a good base and you have some parents that are, adamant about teaching you lessons, I think that, you know, that's where you get good kids. I think that, you know, kids are going to act a fool anyway, and they're going to do their own thing and try to find their own way. However, I do believe that when you instill and plant these seeds in kids, like that stays with them. Like it literally does.
I feel like when kids know that there are consequences to actions, they may still decide to do some things. I'm a perfect example of that. My mom was no joke. And there were times where I consciously made the decision, okay, I'm going to do this. And if I get caught, she going to whoop my ass. And if I don't, then I'm going to get away with it. But I knew if I get caught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But that was the decision that I had to make. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was mischievous. But when kids have no consequences, like the parent is like, absent-minded, not absent like not there, but absent-minded. Like you do what you want to do. You think you're grown, so go ahead and do it.
Right.
That creates problems.
No, I was just telling one of the guys today. I was like, my kids get whoopings and timeouts. It ain't no just timeout now.
Yeah.
You getting the whooping and you getting the timeout. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you need to learn that there are consequences for you know what I'm saying, for
Right.
everything you do. Also, you gonna sit down and reflect on that thing.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And this because this is the way I was taught. This is the way I was raised. And I think I'm pretty cool. Like I think I did all right.
Right.
So for me, I don't see no difference. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I know I got girls, so it is a little different, especially whooping them.
Right.
But yeah, I think that when you get, I know this is a whole nother topic, but I think when you get into those things where people say, "Oh, well, I'm not gonna raise them like I was raised," like you came out pretty cool, bro.
Right.
Like, what part of your growth that you didn't like? You know what I mean? I know there's certain things that most people won't always explain or say, and those are things you probably won't do your kids. You know, if you have real issues and some things like that. But for the most part, man, like I think, like I know y'all brothers. I don't know everything about you, P, but I feel like you a good dude. I feel like your mom obviously did a great job. Like, so what kind of rearing you got as a kid, it worked. So I'm thinking, like, for your kids, why would it be different?
So let me ask this. We all got girls, and you guys only have girls.
Yeah. Here you go, hater.
No. Well, you know, it's a special breed.
God.
Do you find yourself, when you have to chastise them, do you find yourself giving them pass sometimes? Right? When they deserve that whooping, you're like, in the back of your mind, you don't give them that whooping. You know what I mean? And maybe it builds up for another time or whatever. You know what I mean? Do you find yourself in that situation?
Okay, so it's
I'm
so
gonna let
funny
you go,
though,
B.
Juan. It's so funny that you brought this up. I just literally just had this conversation today. Literally just had this conversation today. Saying that, you know, your first child is like your trial and tribulations, because you really don't know what the heck you doing. You know, you trying to protect them from everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, don't touch that. No, stop. No. Because it's like you're trying to protect them and not realizing it's kind of like, just let them be. They're not about to hurt themselves. And if they do, they're going to bounce back anyway.
Right.
But
Right.
it's not like they jumping off the top of a roof or off
Right.
a
With
building.
everything within means, yeah, right.
Yeah. They could be on their bed jumping up and down. You'd be like, no, stop. You can jump and hurt and twist your ankle and break a leg. And it's kind of like, that's part about being a kid. They're going to bounce back from it anyway. But again, it's the trial and tribulation. So a friend of mine was joking because my oldest one, it was always no, stop, stop. And yeah, she got spankings. It was no, to answer your question, Juan, it wasn't no, like, no, I'm gonna hold off on this one. No, I went in. Like, you gonna know right then and there what you did, what happened, why you was wrong. Now Z said you get a spanking and a timeout. I chose between the two. It was either you was gonna get or you got the spank. Depending on what it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It would all depend on what it was. But now my second one, I will say I'm a little bit more reserved. I'm a little bit more relaxed. I'm not as high strung now with her like I was with my first one. And I think that with the second one, she gets away with a lot more than the first one.
Right.
But in all, both my girls, they are spectacular, man. Like, I have some wonderful, beautiful, smart girls that now literally I don't even have to think about spanking. It's just my look or my voice or my tone that it's like, oh, I did something wrong, I better not. Or if I say don't do something, you know, like, it was so funny for Father's Day. I'm gonna tell you this. So the young one, like I told you, I went to Cheesecake Factory. We got a couple of cheesecakes, right? Slices of cheesecake. And you know, they put a gang of whipped cream in there, right? So she was like, I'm gonna eat this whole entire thing. I'm like, no, you not.
Right.
Because you ain't gonna be bouncing off the wall later on. And so she stopped eating and she started eating the whipped cream. And she was just like, the whipped cream was like this. She was just going. And I was like,
Straight
all right,
sugar.
yeah, straight sugar. I was like, all right, stop, no more. I said no more. She hit 2 more. I said, if you do it one more time, I'm gonna get up and pop you.
Right.
And the look on her face was like, is he serious or is he joking? And she was like,
Oh,
okay,
man.
I'm not even gonna try to test this. I'm not all
Right,
right, that's
right,
it. I'm done.
right.
Like,
But that's another testament to you rearing them, teaching them, showing them. You know what I mean? Like I know my grandma, you know, me and Juan grandma, man, she could just give a look.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we
Yeah.
just gonna ride out
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
We gonna turn around.
Right.
Or we gonna go, you know what I'm saying, do what we supposed to, just a look. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like even with my babies, man, I try not to whoop them a lot because they are girls and I don't want them to have some psychological issues later on. You know what I
yeah.
mean? For real. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think about this stuff.
Right.
But I've noticed that I could, like, even if I walk up on them with a stern, you know what I mean? Like they are like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, daddy not playing.
Right.
But again, I think with girls, man, it's just different, bro,
It is.
because you don't
Yeah.
want them to have them like and when I say this, I know people probably be like, Z, you're thinking too deep. But I don't want them to think that it's okay for a man to put his hands on you to get you to do what you're supposed to do. And if I'm constantly doing that, then you're gonna think that's okay.
Right.
But I think
And
also, Z, that's the
yeah.
conversation.
Oh, no doubt.
So,
No
yeah.
doubt. No doubt.
But
And
I
it
mean,
needs, yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
both though, honestly.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's, yeah, you gotta spank them, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as they get older, so that they keep it resonates
Right.
in their brain that no guy's ever supposed to hit you.
Oh, no doubt.
You
No
know,
doubt. No doubt. I agree. Yeah, but I think those are constant conversations.
yeah.
And just anything, man. I think if you plant that seed in your kids, man, they might not get it now.
But
You know what I
later,
mean? They might not, but they're going to remember this stuff.
mm,
Me and Juan, I always laugh at Juan or laugh with Juan. Like when my dad growing up, bro, I used to call Juan like, bro, come get me, man. Like Juan and my Uncle Garrick, like, yo, I gotta leave. Like I can't stand this dude. Like he is mean. He don't like me. But he was teaching me how to be a man. He wasn't trying to be my buddy. He wasn't
Right.
my friend. Like, well, he was my friend. Like he supported me, all my games, coached me, all that stuff. But he was like, I'm your dad.
Right.
Like, this ain't no buddy, none of that. Now we have this great relationship. But at the same time, Juan's son used to call me like, dude, I can't stand my dad. And I'm like, I laughed at him the first time, like, yo, you have no idea that I used to call your dad. You know what I mean? But even then, now talking to him, he understands. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when you're going through it, you're not getting it. You think that pops is tripping. You think mom's is tripping. But I think that those lessons really, when you keep it instilling those things, they'll pop up. They'll pop up.
absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Before we get up out of here, Z has to. He said he wanted to tell a story about something, because he said he's not going to use the N word anymore.
Well,
So
I'm gonna try not to, man. I'm trying not to.
I'm very intrigued on hearing the story on how this came about.
Well, the other night, you know, my cousins was over, and we were talking about, you know, the N word. And one of my cousins, he on this thing right now, he was saying how he doesn't mind if people from other cultures say the N word if they're in your circle. Like if they're in your circle and they're your close friends or whatever, he didn't mind it. And I said, I could not rock with that. I just couldn't do it. And he was like, well, if you're opening that door, and I thought about that, and I said, you know what? If that's the case, me personally, I'm gonna take a inventory on myself and take it upon myself to try not to use that word, because I personally don't want to give anybody permission to use that word. There's a video going around. His name is Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm sure you'll see it across your timeline. But he was explaining how or why you shouldn't want to use the word. Now that video is old, but it's going around now, so people think it's new. However, he gives a great explanation, and I was telling Juan about he was saying the word bitch. He was like, my wife and her friends call each other bitch.
Yeah.
He was like, I have never wanted to join in like that. You know what I mean? With using that. And to me, that's a great example of the word nigga. Like, all in all, is like, why would you want to use it? Why do you want to? Or do you feel like it's a word that you don't own and you can't, that you just want to say it because you can't say it? You know what I mean? But for me, I'm saying that I'm going to try to stop using that word.
What about you, Juan? Do you say it?
It just depends on the situation. And
When he
who
around his niggas, he say nigga.
you know, yeah, when it depends on who I'm with. You know, if I'm around the fellas, it may come out, yeah, you know, but yeah,
Do you think
I
other
have a
people should
problem.
use it?
Well, again, it depends on the company. If some white dude I've never met or I've never seen before, or none of that, or a known person that I know is racist come up and be like, nigga says it. Okay. But if it's somebody who, let's say I grew up with or has been a part of my acquaintance of people for many years, right? And we've been around, I know this dude. I know that this dude ain't no racist. I can't be hurt if he hear me calling other people nigga and he's in my realm and he says that word. Where's he getting it from?
What
Where's he
about you,
getting it
P?
from?
What about you, P?
No, I'm with you, Juan. He's getting it from you, no doubt about it.
For
Absolutely.
sure. What you think, P? Are you cool with other cultures and other people saying nigga
No,
around you?
I'm not cool at all.
Yeah.
I've been against the word myself, and I know I've said it before, but it was never. I only got it from being around my peers.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only time I heard the word was being around my peers. Family wise, my family never used the word.
Mm-hmm.
Never. So when I first heard it, it was kind of like, is that like a new slang word that I didn't know nothing about? Type deal. But then again, you know, when you find out, then it's kind of like, oh, snaps, wait a minute. You start feeling bad. Like, man, I can't use that word because that word was used against us, you know, type deal. But then you grow up and then people be like, well, it's a term term of endearment.
Yeah.
And you like, okay, well, if it's a term of endearment, then I use it then.
Right.
But as you get older some more, people be like, well, you can't, the word is the word. You can't change the definition of a word. The ER to an A is still the same word. So, I mean, me personally, unless you black and in my circle, you use the word. Outside of black, you can't use the word at all. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care if you're a white person and I've known you since kindergarten. If you say that word, I'm gonna haul off and slap the white out of you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God. Yeah, man.
Well, let me ask you a question. You haul off and slap that person and he whoop your ass. And then what?
Why ain't nobody?
No. Pee-wee, it's somebody bigger and badder than you. Always. And what if it's him?
Hey, ain't nobody whooping my ass.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Juan,
I'm just saying, bro.
Hey, Juan, I hear you.
Yeah.
You stupid.
Okay.
You stupid.
Okay.
You crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
That's because it comes back to the same thing. You know, like when Liam Neeson was talking about he was looking for black people and, you know, he was looking to kill somebody. What was that black person going to be doing while you was killing them? Just sit there and let you kill him?
Right.
So what's that white dude just going to sit up there and just let you slap him and it's cool?
Hey, man.
Yeah, he go.
Hey,
Yep,
man.
you right, Juan. That's what
You right, Juan.
Okay.
He gonna stick his chin out. He gonna stick his chin out
stupid.
and be like, "Yeah, go ahead."
Stupid.
Okay.
You want? Hey, y'all stupid.
Yeah.
Y'all stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, man. Once again, thank y'all very much for rocking with the No Boundaries crew.
Yes.
You can find us on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and gives us the thumbs up, right, Z? Give us the thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube page, No Boundaries underscore JMO. No
JMO.
Boundaries underscore JMO. Before we
Indeed.
get out of here, fellas, any last words?
Stay black, stay strong.
Stay black, stay strong, man. Take care of yourself. Be safe out here, man. Peace to you.
I'm gonna have to say the same exact thing, man. There's a lot of moving parts that's going on in the world right now, and you know, at this moment, we got to make sure that we have eyes in the back of our head, and we move in a group, because there's some entities that's out here that we do not see, that is trying to take us down. So I will say, please be safe out here. Don't stop the fight. Stay out there, protest. Stay on these police officers' neck and videotaping them, because it is your First Amendment right. All right. And these politicians, we got to change some of this stuff, man. We got to get this in favor of us as black people, man. So we got to stay on that and
No doubt.
keep the fight, man. Black power. We should bring back the Black Panthers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Here you go. You gonna lead it? You running it?
You with it?
I'm with it.
I'll be Huey P. Newton.
You look like him.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah,
Here I go.
Come on, man.
No
All right,
doubt.
man.
No doubt.
Once again, ladies and gents, thank y'all very much. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday on this Throwback Thursday. Hey, before we get up out of here, since we talk about Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday.
Come
Talk
on,
to me.
man.
Talk to
Juan, Zaid, give me a throwback jam for me. Before we get up out of here, give me a throwback jam.
First thing come to my mind, If It Isn't Love, New Edition.
Ooh.
Okay.
And mine, what I've been listening to every day is Optimistic.
Optimistic by who?
Yeah, by what's the name of that group? Oh man, hold on. Dang, that's crazy. I'm about to tell you right now. Don't trip. Oh, by Sounds of Blackness. Stop playing with me, man.
Okay, come on,
Come on, man. Yeah, every morning. You can win as long as you keep your head to the sky. Come
I didn't know that was the name of it.
Yeah, it's called Optimistic, man.
Okay.
Stop playing.
Hey, so
okay, you didn't give us yours, B. You didn't give us yours.
He looking it up so he can play it. You know how that nigga do.
Come on,
look, do me I gotta go look at the name and he get
Come on, Juan, don't do me like that.
He put us on the spot and he have his already.
Right, he's queued up already.
Nah, come on, Juan. Why you gonna play me out like that, Juan?
He ain't right.
Hold on.
Queued up.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I got to.
That's funny.
Only reason why I'm gonna say this is because I have literally for the past 2 months I've been listening to this one artist. I've been listening to this one artist for the past 2 weeks, and when I tell you, listening to his music still resonates to this day, and everything that he's talking about still to this day.
I knew it was gonna be Marvin Gaye.
Hey, that's funny. Like all this stuff, ain't it crazy? This dude was talking about this in what, the 70s, 60s, 70s, like
60s
and
70s.
we still dealing with it today, bro.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't go wrong. Marvin, go ahead. I see you want to chime it over there.
No. I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I told you mine.
Oh man. I love y'all, man.
All right, man. We're gonna get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoy your Thursday. That's Zaid. That's Juan Fuego. I'll be your man, Big P.
Peace.
We the No Boundaries crew. Just our opinion. And we out, man. Peace.
Peace out.